Oh, sorry. I gotta hold this like this. All right. All right. Now I'm just waiting for AJ to come in. Should be coming in any minute. All righty. Got two people. Ah, there you are. Okay. We're gonna add. Oh, gotta get comfortable here. All right. Darn this thing. I don't know why it's taking so long. That's odd. I mean, we just did it. Let me see. Add. Add. Let's try it again. Are you gonna be invite? Ah, there we go.
I don't know why I gotta rotate my phone horizontally.
Okay. Well, I'm doing it this way so that way mine isn't. So it's kind of even. So it's
Oh,
on
so
my.
we got half a face here and a half a face there.
Yeah, exactly. Because I don't like the little itty bitty face in the corner. You know.
Just
So,
complicate things more for me, son. Thank you.
of
I
course,
appreciate it.
that's my yub. That's my yub.
Yeah, that's your job.
So we're gonna just shoot the
So what's
breeze for a
going
little
on,
bit,
boo-boo? Huh?
and we're gonna shoot the breeze for a little bit and wait for people to come on because it kind of takes a minute for it to kind of rotate out there that we're on.
Us shooting the breeze can be kind of dangerous live.
Hey, we could get in trouble. We could get in trouble.
Definite. So we could get kicked off of Facebook. I decided to maneuver to the garage
Oh, okay.
because you can't smoke if I can't smoke, and that just doesn't work for me.
Like that's just so
And I'm
long.
supposed to quit smoking like really, really soon, and I'm procrastinating.
Uh, my grandma lived to 100 and something years old, and she smoked and drank rum. Whatever.
Yeah, but you know what? When you pace your house and then you can't breathe after you're done pacing, it's a sign.
Yeah, no, that's true. That is definitely true.
It's a sign. I don't have to walk up all them stairs you do, but which is worse.
Uh,
I don't have any stairs here.
It's brutal. I hate the stairs.
You might need a chair lift soon, sir.
That's why I got kids. They could drag me up the stairs. That hopefully, if not, they'll leave my ass
I'm,
downstairs. They're like, look, just pee on yourself. You're good. We'll put a diaper on you. Yeah,
we'll
they'll
fix
put a
you
diaper on
later.
you. Mm-hmm.
I
Just let me
think your
know.
daughter's going to be with you for the rest of your life. I don't think you're ever going to get rid of that one.
No, the one who I think I'm not going to get rid of is Isaac.
The little one, my favorite, my little boo boo.
The little beanpole. Well, not little.
Yes.
He's 6'1" now. Like, where the hell 6'1" come from?
Is he still a string bean?
Yep. That's all me though. The string bean is me,
I
but
know.
the 6'1", I have no
He
idea.
wasn't 6'1" when I was there.
No, no. But he's 6'1"
What
now.
did you do to him?
I don't know because it's not like the boy eats, and so I don't know where the hell he growing from.
Lord. And he's only what, 18, 19? No. How old is he?
He's 18.
He ain't done growing yet, sir.
No, no.
Look, be glad that he's getting taller and he just didn't come down the stairs one day with his Barry White voice like you. That would have scared the hell out of you.
Yeah, that is pretty creepy. Mm-mm. Nope. Well, I see some people starting to come on. This is good. This is good.
Hey,
Hello.
I'm not used to holding my phone like this. This is weird.
Is it?
Yeah,
Well,
this is
you only
weird.
have an hour.
Hmm.
So,
Works for me.
where are the boys at? The brothers need to come on.
The boys, V is probably home with the kids and whatnot doing her thing, and you never know what Ty. You know, Ty is just
All over the place.
Ty is Ty. He needs help.
Mm. Yeah, I wouldn't change him.
That boy.
He's amazing. I wouldn't change him for shit. No.
No, I love him to death, but you know he's lonely. He needs
Yeah.
a girlfriend.
We got to work
I
on
think
that.
that's going to be my next mission. We're supposed to be getting together, if not this weekend, next weekend to go see the new Halloween movie.
Oh, nice. I want to see
And
that so
me,
bad. I want to see that.
I do too.
Mhm.
I just want to see her finally kill him. And I watched an interview of her, and she said it's the worst case of PTSD I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah, I believe that. Mm-mm.
But me being the little marshmallow that I am, it's probably going to scare the hell out of me. So I'm going to be the one screaming.
Yeah. Ah! Well, there go Pop. Little bitch coming out and
And then
Pop.
come home. I'm going to come home and leave all the lights in the house on. Not go into my backyard at night. Yeah.
I'm always telling people, I said, Rickens don't ever die in movies. We never go there.
No.
We don't go
No,
there.
we don't. You don't see us hear something scary and say, I want to go investigate.
Oh,
No.
it's there. No. We'd be like, oh, I gotta go.
Bye. Bye, Felicia.
All right.
Go.
Well, we're gonna get this going. We'll get this started.
Okay.
And we'll start with questions. My first question for you is, what inspired you to do drag? Period.
Well, see, I didn't technically start out doing drag.
Okay.
When I started performing, I started in 2005 as a diva. And I did the diva thing for a few years, and then we did a turnabout where I had to become a little boy, and it was funny because I was the epitome of Femi Fufu. Hair down to my back, nails 2 inches long, just fufu. So when I got into drag, the transformation became a challenge for me.
Right.
And I had been looking for something. I got bored doing the diva because you could only get up there half naked so many times. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? So it became a challenge for me. And I was like, oh, I think I found my niche. And so AJ was born, but for quite a while, it was just AJ. I didn't have a last name.
Right.
And for me, it was the challenge of the transformation, the challenge of the costuming. There are so many more male versions of songs that I had always wanted to do, but couldn't do it because I was a female.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so that's how it got started. And by the time I had been performing as AJ for 6 months before I did my first state competition. And it's
Okay.
always been a challenge. Every time I got on the stage, how can I top what I did before?
Yeah.
And that was always the way I ran it. It wasn't that I always thought I was better than anybody else. The only challenge was within me.
Right. Right.
And it was a lot of fun. I got to play dress up, and you get to be a whole different person for like 2 hours a night.
Exactly. You forget all your stuff. Yeah.
Brooklyn who? I don't know what you're talking about.
That's so foreign for me because it's hard for me to say Brooklyn because I only know you as AJ. You know what I'm saying? So
I
when you
know.
say Brooklyn,
I still answer to either or. It doesn't matter. I actually still answer to sir when I'm not in drag.
mm-hmm.
And it's funny to see people look. Did they just call her a him?
Right. Yeah, that gets a little.
But it is what it is.
Because
Like,
like a lot of the drag queens, I would stick with she, even when they're in boy
Yeah,
form.
yeah.
So,
Then
so
when my drag mother, even when she's not in drag, is Mama. You know.
right, right, exactly, exactly.
So that's what
So,
got it started. And I had when I started, drag only went one way. Like today, you have like you, the character king, and
right,
all of these different. It wasn't like that back then. Back then, it was actually all about the illusion. So I
right,
got to be around some of the best, and they were the ones that I had to learn from.
right, right. All right. Well, here's question number two. Out of
I don't like the way you said that.
who was your greatest inspiration?
Oh wow.
Mm,
Mm.
like,
I have to say, um, oh wow, damn it, man, you're gonna put me on the spot. Uh,
no.
I had a lot of teachers, but my greatest inspiration as far as male illusion is Gage Gatlin. He's
Mm,
actually one of my mentors. But I learned from Gage, I learned from my daddy Wolfie. Gage to me was just larger than life. You
right,
know what I'm saying? He was what I wanted to do. He was traveling all over the place and he was well recognized and he was well respected.
right,
And that's what I wanted. And back then, and I use this term very highly, back then it was all about the brotherhood. Like I
right,
learned back then how to be an entertainer before I perfected my craft in drag.
right.
And I learned that there's a lot more to this business than
Mm,
just slapping some facial hair on and getting on the stage. And that's pretty much what Gage taught me. Gage taught me how to be an entertainer before he taught me what to do with the duct tape and the facial hair and everything else.
wow.
And he's still going, boy. In fact, he'll be in New York State this weekend.
Oh, wow. So he won't
Yeah,
be
he's
far.
going back to, I think it's Elmira.
Elmira. Yeah,
Elmira.
yeah.
So yeah, that I would have to say, but there are a lot of entertainers that I learned from over the years that I respect just as much.
Right.
I love you, Daddy.
All right. Moving on.
Mm,
um, if what would you say was your biggest obstacle in drag?
booze.
Mm, yep.
I was a heavy alcoholic before I got on the stage, and I was a heavy alcoholic while I was up there, and of course that taps into the ego.
Right.
And between the booze and my ego, it just about destroyed me as an entertainer for uh, quite a while. It got to the point where nobody wanted to book me and nobody wanted to be around me, and it was actually booze that during a really big show that did me in. You know what I'm saying? So for me, the biggest obstacle was the booze. It was never about the transformation, and it was never really about not being accepted because I was so femmy at some
Right.
point. But for me, the biggest obstacle was the booze. You're working in a bar,
Yeah.
and when you're a downright alcoholic, a bar is the last place you need to be.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And
I
I
get
just didn't know how to say no, and it progressed. Like in the beginning, I would pride myself. I wouldn't get drunk while I was performing.
you. Right.
I would only have like one or two drinks before the show started. But then
Right.
I would get trashed after and
Right.
make a
Right.
complete fool out of myself. So for
Right.
me, it was the booze.
Right.
But
Right.
luckily, I got through that and finally gave it up and saw the error of my ways. And it was amazing how things progressed from there because I got sober and AJ got really busy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm grateful for that because when in the entertainment business, when you ruin your reputation, you don't get that back.
That's
But
it.
I was
Yeah.
lucky enough to get a do-over. I really was. And I have some very loyal fans and some very loyal supporters, so they saw me through it.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing.
It was. I'm
Hmm.
grateful.
I'm thinking of my next question.
I don't like the way
All
you
right.
said that.
All right. No, I'm going to skip that one. I'll wait till later for that one. Um,
Oh, you're an
what are
ass.
what are some I would say causes or passions you have within the LGBT community that you feel should be basically more addressed?
The kids. I don't believe that our LGBT, the kids that are still, after all that we have gone through and after all we've accomplished, we've got kids that are still afraid to come out of the
Mm-hmm.
closet because it's so not accepting, and their parents are still kicking them out.
Yeah.
And so the kids are a really big deal, and they're committing suicide and because of all the bullying, because they're different. And what people don't realize is our kids are our future.
Yes.
Without them, there isn't one.
Exactly.
So they
Exactly.
need to get more accepting. A child in their home, they should not have to be afraid.
No.
The big bad world is out there and things are going to happen, and they should be taught about that. But within their home perimeters, they should not be afraid to come to mom and dad and say, okay, I'm gay,
Right.
without being worried about being ridiculed and all this. And they need to be taught to stand up for themselves.
Right.
And unfortunately, even in today's society, they're not.
No.
And that hurts my heart. Like a few months ago, there was that little 9-year-old boy,
Yes.
Jamel.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? He came out to his mama at 9 years old. The boy
Yeah.
had not even hit puberty yet and was
Yeah.
proud of the fact that he was gay. And luckily, his mama was real supportive. But he went to school and told everybody because he knew that there was nothing wrong with him. He was
Right.
proud of this. And they broke him down in 9 days and committed suicide. That sunk my heart.
Right.
And I
Right.
also think in the LGBT community, it's us against the rest of the world. But I've seen a lot over the last few years that it's us against us.
Right. Yes.
The trans people don't feel like they have a place to fit in. They don't fit in the straight world,
Right.
but they're not treated with open arms by the gay community either.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
I think that that's just really sad. I can preach about it and preach about it all day long, but if I'm the only one, you know what I'm saying? We need to be united. We don't fight back
Exactly.
the way other people do. We don't fight back with violence. Our voices are all we have, and unfortunately, people don't speak up.
Yeah. Exactly.
So one little itty bitty voice, and I'm Puerto Rican. We can sit and yak all day long.
Yep.
But
Yep.
it's not going to make a difference if the rest of society is going to keep doing what they're doing.
Exactly.
And so those
Exactly.
two things for me are on the top of this is getting on my last gay nerve list.
Right.
We have gay folk have two sets of nerves. We have the regular nerves, and then we have
Right.
the gay nerves. And if you're pushing towards the gay nerves, then you're in for it.
Yeah. Exactly. Now you're hitting a whole new level of nerves.
Yeah. I just think that there needs to be more unity,
Yeah.
and there's not.
Right.
There really isn't. So that's where I stand on that.
Okay. What are some of your concerns within the drag community?
How long we got?
This one's gonna go long, and that's okay because there are a lot.
Drag was so different back when I started that like I called up Gage one day. I did not understand the character kings and a lot of stuff that was going on in the drag community today. And Gage was like, Brooklyn, drag is evolving. I said, yes, but into what? The problem, as I see it in the way that it is today, is there's no brotherhood.
Yeah. Right.
Back when I started, like when I ran for master, it was crazy because there was 10 or 11 of us. I don't remember. And on the stage, we were fierce competitors. We were. But in the dressing room, we were down there helping each other get dressed and singing friggin' show tunes.
Yeah.
But things have gotten so very cutthroat today, and it doesn't have to be. You know, the
Right.
queens, with the queens, and I love my queens, don't get me wrong, but the queens were always kind of catty. It was just something that's just the way they were. But amongst the
Right.
boys, there was a brotherhood
Yeah.
that no longer exists.
No.
And the younger generation, they don't want to put in the work. Like, I get you could be in this for a hobby, and that's fine. But there are certain basics you should still follow.
Right.
You know, there's a sense of professionalism that you should still follow. You've got these kids getting on the stage in jeans and t-shirts, and sometimes they're not binding, sometimes they're drawing on their facial hair. They don't know their words. It's like they don't have respect for the craft. Because it's an art. It's an art.
Right. Exactly.
And for them, it's all about, ta-da, look at me, want to be in the spotlight.
Right. That's exactly
And
what I was going to say.
It's not, that's not the way it's supposed to be. And I've seen it dwindle so much over the years. Like, there's a joke here in Jacksonville, and it's really not funny. But people say that Jacksonville is the place that male drag goes to die. There, out of all the venues that are here, there is not one place that will book a king. They will ask them to do benefits because they don't have to pay them.
Right.
But none of these places will book a king.
And that's pretty common.
And so male drag, but here it used to be pumping. For real. I can remember the bar being packed on a Wednesday night.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? There isn't even any venues for them to even express themselves anymore.
No.
And to me, that's sad. And I see that more and more and more. They're losing their venues, and there's no place for them to express themselves and to see even where the craft can take them.
Exactly. Because they're not given a chance.
And that hurts. I'm what they call old school drag. You know, I'm very, very old school when it comes to it. And some of this new stuff, like it took you to open my eyes to the whole character thing, because I didn't get it. I was like, I just don't get this. I've come to realize that a lot of it I don't have to understand, but I do have to respect it.
Right.
But there's so much that has gotten lost in the translation.
Yeah.
That it doesn't even seem like drag to me anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's absolutely no respect amongst entertainers, and they're getting into Facebook fights, and they're getting into dressing room fights, and they're getting tore up, and I'm like, what? It hurts my heart. It really does. Yeah. But again, I can preach about it all day long, but I can't make people listen.
No.
So that's where that stands.
So if you were to sit here and let's say, like, there's such diversity in the drag community now, I guess the whole point is what if you see a first king, like, or king or queen, it really doesn't matter. What is your first, like, advice you would give them?
Even if they're doing it as a hobby, they should take it. It's still a job.
Yeah.
You know, don't treat it second nature. I always gave the queens the utmost respect, because you never saw a drag queen get on the stage in regular everyday street clothes.
Right. That would never happen.
You know, and the kings, regardless of what your particular craft is, I'm gonna put it like that.
Right.
I saw this one entertainer get on the stage in sweatpants, and dude, the hair on the back of my neck was standing up. just a sweatsuit. And I tell them, you know, if you want the same respect as the girls, you have to put in the same work.
Right.
So my advice would be, never let them see you sweat. Always know your words and realize that it is a craft, and one that should be respected, regardless of what your intentions are to do it. Hi, honey. Hi, baby. Say hi to Cross.
Hi, son.
Hey.
You're not in there.
Hi.
Yeah. You know, and I would tell them that you can go anywhere in this business. It depends on how much you want it, and it depends on how much they put into it.
Right.
You
Right.
know. So, and to stay true to themselves. It
Yeah.
bothers me when an entertainer says, "Well, you can't do that because that's my song. We don't own the rights
Yeah.
to this music." And well, you should do this and you should do that. I think the main thing that I would tell them is no matter what everybody tells you, stay true to yourself
Exactly.
and be who you are, not
Yeah.
who they want you to be.
Absolutely. No, absolutely.
So for me, that's on the top 10 list.
Okay.
But they can't do that anymore. They get so wrapped up in
Yeah.
what everybody else thinks and what everybody else says.
Right.
What everybody look, you can't pay attention in this business. You can't pay attention to what everybody unless it's constructive criticism and it's coming from a
Yeah.
place where that person is trying to help you. Everybody else, you have to zone out.
Yeah.
You know, you have to grow thick skin in this business because it's become so damn cutthroat.
Yeah.
And if you
Yeah.
don't have it, then give yourself a break and work on it and go back to it at a later time.
You gotta
But if
have
you
thick.
have a dream, don't you do. And it wasn't like this back then. That makes me sound
Now
so
it
old.
is. And that's what's so sad because back then it was pretty. It was like you said. There was a whole different. It was more like a family.
Yeah,
Where now it's like, oh, everybody's they're out for themselves and they'll cut wherever they have. And it's sad to see that.
it is.
Yeah.
It is. But there's
So
nothing, with the younger, you can't tell these little youngins nothing unless they want to hear it. And it was the same way when we were younger. You couldn't
right.
tell us squat. Most of the time we had to learn the hard way.
Yep. Yep. That's true. That's true.
We all get to a point where I know what I'm doing.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, if you were to pick a memory, your favorite memory in drag, what would it be?
Oh, damn, man. I think for me, it was the night that I won Master, and not necessarily because I won. Um, Throughout my drag career, I was blessed to be crowned by my drag daddy. And
Right.
then I was honored to be crowned with my mama.
Right.
But the one thing that I always wanted was I wanted the chance to get crowned by Gabe. And I
Okay.
walked into Master as an underdog. I
Mm,
didn't think I had a snowball's chance in hell. I didn't.
right.
And when I won and I had to kneel to get crowned, for me, that was like the ultimate, not necessarily the I have arrived moment as far as the drag itself,
Right.
but I have arrived in the sense that I picked myself up out of the dirt
Right.
and
Right.
I reached the goal that I set out to reach.
Yeah.
So for me, I think that would have been that's definitely the top. But there's a whole lot of memories that I would never want to take away. Um, just I had to perform in a barn once, which was really very interesting.
There. Well, share it. This is what we're here for, so that they
Uh,
can get to know
they
you.
didn't tell me that this was on a farm. And here we actually performed in the barn with the horse stalls and the bales of hay. And I
Ow.
had these rock numbers all set. And I was like, now what? So luckily I had a change in music and in the truck and whatnot, and I had some extra costumes because I always ended up bringing like one or two extra numbers just to be prepared.
Right.
And I ended up, I think one of the songs was Tequila Makes My Clothes Fall Off. And I turned it into something very, very country.
Oh,
And this
funny.
past weekend, I owed somebody a favor, and it was a really, really big favor. So even though I retired in December, she asked me if I would come down and perform at the Women's Fest uh, at a campground called the Sawmill here in Florida. Now, primarily, the Sawmill is a gay male campground, but every couple of months they do like a women's fest.
Okay.
Nobody told me that this place was clothing optional.
Oh.
Dude.
I can see your face. You would have been like,
dude. Wow. It what like we pulled in and we get through the gates and we get up to the club and I'm looking down the road and here is this man putting up some Halloween decorations in the nude.
oh,
Is he naked?
Oh no. Yeah.
Ooh, dude. My poor wife walked around all that afternoon with her little head down.
Oh. Yeah, no, that's rough.
But
that's
we had
rough.
a good time, and I was very, very well received, and it made me realize exactly how much I miss it.
Right.
You know what I'm
right.
saying? Being back in
Yeah.
drag. I think for me, it was too soon for me to get back up on the stage because I'm a very emotional marshmallow. I really am.
Yeah.
And my retirement was emotional, and I haven't been in drag in almost a year. So put a very nervous individual up on a stage in a room full of people, and you could tell that they weren't used to my style of drag. Their drag
Right.
is very much more laid back.
Right.
So they were all excited, and I see naked men all over and naked women, and I'm going, oh.
Where are they gonna put the dollars?
Lucky, I don't think they allow the naked people inside the show bar because those people had clothes on. But you walk outside, it's a free for all, bro, for real. And nobody told me that.
Ugh.
So that was a shocker.
Right.
Definitely one to put in the book of memories.
Right. Right. I wanna make a note here. Everybody, we're not ignoring you. We're gonna basically come back round to, so we're not ignoring you. We're not saying hi just to not say hi. I'm really trying to make sure that the interview stays focused, because if I got to stop and say hi every couple seconds, it's, it kind of distracts from the interview. So I just want to put it out there. We are not ignoring you. And as soon as we're done, we're going to leave open discussion so people can ask questions. And AJ will answer them as they come along. All right. So, okay.
That's scary.
You don't know what they're going to ask.
Exactly.
So, wow. So yeah, nudist colony. That's something else. That's something else. We have one here. I haven't been to it yet.
Do you really?
Yes, we do. It's called the campground.
I think I've heard of it. I honestly think I've heard of it.
The woods. I don't know, but it's in Pennsylvania. So
it's a beautiful campground. But like I said, when you're walking in and you don't expect this,
Free Willy.
Like I saw people that some people look a lot better with their clothes on. Don't get me wrong, I give them credit for having enough self-confidence to do you.
Yeah.
But they could have warned a little brother. You know what I'm saying, AJ? Don't be surprised if that would have given me time on the 3-hour ride up there to prepare myself. But we had fun, and they were all very, very sweet, and they want me to come back, and I'm going, oh no, I'm done for a while. I can't. I get too freaking emotional, man. I do. Yeah. I miss it. I do. I miss it.
Something about the stage, man. Something about.
I miss the fans. Yeah. And I miss being able to hang out with them, and I miss the traveling and whatnot. But my body just said, Like I was hurting for 2 days.
Mm.
after we got back from the sawmill. And I was like, yeah, this is why I retired.
Right, right. Because it does take a toll on the body. I mean, not just the
It
mind. It
does.
takes a
And
toll on the mind, the spirit, but it does take a toll on the body.
10 years of it
Yeah.
just, wow. Like I'll still get into face. I have a pageant that I have to judge
Mhm.
in December. And I asked them, I gave them a choice. Do you want me in or out of face?
Right,
And this
right.
particular pageant system wants me in face. So I don't have a
Okay.
problem getting into face and sitting on a judges panel, but I'm not going to perform.
Right, right.
You're just going to have to deal with me sitting at a table with some
Yeah.
gloves on because I refuse to cut the nails.
You earned those bad boys. Mm-mm.
I did. 10 years of man hands drove me nuts.
Oh my. All right. So, who is your greatest support?
My wife,
Okay.
by all means, my wife is on the very, very, very top of that list. You know, she has been with me since the beginning. We got together just before AJ was born. And
Okay.
she has been through almost every venue and every trial and every crazy moment. And she's my biggest supporter and my biggest fan. And
Hmm.
no matter what I wanted to do, she would support it. Even if I ended up trashed by the end of the night,
Mm.
you know, she'd be in the dressing room, getting my stuff together because I was too trashed to do it. Right
Right.
down to taking my contacts out at the end of the night because I was too damn drunk to do it myself.
Oh
You know what I'm
wow.
saying? So she's been there with me from the very, very beginning. And
Right.
she's definitely my biggest supporter and my biggest fan. And I love her to death. But I also have a very large fan base, and I didn't realize how large that fan base was until after I got sober. Um, and I'm pretty sure that every entertainer feels the same way. But I have some of the biggest and the most loyal fans out there, and
Right.
I love to hang out with them because they look at somebody who holds many titles, especially the master title, and they think of you as larger than life, and that always bothered me. You know,
Right.
I'm a regular Joe Schmo.
Right.
So when they meet me in person, they don't
And
know
they're all
what to
green.
say and they don't know how to act. And it's like that just causes me to act like a fool. You know, I will walk them dead in the face. Hi, how are you? Nice to meet you. My name is AJ. You know what I'm saying? I
Right.
miss that interaction.
Yes.
And I get it on Facebook, but it's not the same as when you have it in person. You know what I'm saying? And they get to see that we are not only entertainers, but we are regular, normal, everyday people. I'll
Exactly.
get out there on the stage and wobble with the rest of them, okay? But
Right.
I'm also wobbling off the stage afterwards because I done twisted my back up.
Oh no. No, yeah.
But I
I think
miss that.
yeah, the fans really, I mean, when you connect with them and talk with them and they realize you're not this crazy
Yeah,
persona, that you're actually a human being. And that's
yeah,
important. Yeah. Which is why, like with these interviews, it is my heart for people to see the entertainer. You know, not just the entertainer, but to see the back of who you are. You
yeah.
know, yeah. And that's important. You know. So here's the next question. Tell me a little bit
Uh-oh.
about you.
Have
Who
I
is
told you lately that I don't like you?
DJ?